Okay, I'm back. I sound a little different because I actually took a little break from this, and I decided to try some new headphones. Wireless headphones to be exact. Considering if you saw Pokemon Sword and Shield, I don't want to go through what happened again. And so I decided, why not try these? I'm probably gonna sound super different, especially from these two, considering it's supposed to be right after. But hey, this is an experiment as it is, so I think I'm fine. I mean, who knows, if it actually sounds pretty good, maybe I might actually just continue this and I may never have to deal with that audio issue ever again. And at least, I hope that doesn't happen again. And because that felt so deflating, eating that day when I found out. That felt super deflating. Anyways, I kind of finished what I wanted to say with that last conversation before, or so. I guess I can continue on with something I mentioned back in Bowser's Castle last time, that I don't really talk to a lot of people about mostly games that I like. Like, I mean, I already mentioned the experience I had in 5th grade, but also another thing as well. This is also going back to Pokemon for a second. So, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were just announced. Well, not just announced. They showed off a bit more of the game. I want to say about 2 weeks ago from the time I'm actually making this. And I know almost very little to nothing about the game. And for as much of a fan of Pokemon as I am now, I kind of usually am lousy when it comes to keeping up with the game. Well, nowadays I'm very lousy when it comes to keeping up with games. And usually, at least with Pokemon, what I've been doing now is I kind of like to go in completely blind and knowing almost barely anything, the bare minimum, and then playing the game for myself, because I did that with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and I did that with Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I plan to just make that a tradition when it comes to Pokemon. And, well, a couple of my friends wanted to ask me, what did I think of Diamond Eyes? We're basically the new gimmick of the next games. And I mostly told them it was more neutral of anything to the idea, and then it kind of just went into this whole thing where it went from them asking me that to, oh yeah, why don't they just bring back Megas? Why do they keep doing this? Or Diamond Eyes is so bad. And for me, I mean, fair enough. I don't think it's that amazing either. I'm not crazy about it, because my thing with those types of things, because they've done it since Mega Evolution, where I'm just gonna go down the list. Mega Evolution, for as cool as it is, as cool of a concept as it is, and I love the lore behind it, especially the Kalos. I really don't like it in gameplay. The designs are awesome, don't get me wrong. But I don't really care for using them in gameplay. You don't really get to use them that much in gameplay, especially in X and Y. Why? Because a lot of them are locked to the post-game for some stupid reason. And there's the fact that there's only this limited selection, and say it's not one of your favorites, then, well, just sucks to be you, I guess. Next, you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that, there are Pokemon that are just so much stronger than some of your favorites, and that can just blast you away with like nothing else. And then Z-moves, is where I love the lore of you basically connecting people connecting their hearts to the region itself and using that for power with their Pokemon. That's the cool concept. And I mostly got that interpretation from the anime and how it's used there. Because that's pretty much what Z-moves kind of are, at least to me. But when it comes to gameplay, it's like me clicking Hydro Pump instead of Surf, except this time it's even more powerful, and and Hydro Pump is never going to miss. That's the only difference it feels like to me. I at least like that it's given to every Pokemon instead of just a selected few. But it's still something that I don't really like, and I didn't really find get too much use out of it. I thought it was at least a step up in some regards, but it wasn't really anything special. And then Dynamax, where it may not look super cool, in most cases. This isn't the flashiest thing. Well, the flashiest is compared to the other two. Ooh, I'll admit, I think I'm gonna probably save those thoughts for later. But I will say one positive. I think it works great in double battles. Well, since there's two Pokemon at once, I think it's a really great thing to use in double battles. And I've seen a lot of VGC matches. This is where, man, some of the strategies you can pull are absolutely insane. Same with this mechanic, and I love it. And I love it in doubles. I think it's a really good mechanic in doubles. But that's more thoughts when I actually get to that game. But when it comes to those gimmicks, I tend to like them in the story and how they're used in the region and the story. But I never really liked them in gameplay. I've rarely and ever liked them in gameplay. And personally. And that's kind of what Diamond Eyes is looking like to me. I'm hoping I'm going to be wrong, but that's what it feels like to me. And I don't really care for it right now. Maybe it might change my opinion. Maybe it might, but right now it's not looking like it's going to be that same song and dance again. And for me. But when they mention that to me, even though that's the sentiment I have towards it, it still bothers me when people just say that, like, oh yeah, that's obviously what the right thing is to do, like because they don't like this new mechanic, they're like, oh, they should have brought back the old mechanic and just kept that. To me, Mega Evolution, as cool as it is, I feel like most people would only really care about just for the design, designs. And that's really it. And like I said, Ed, if some of your favorite Pokemon didn't get a Mega form, well, it sucks to be you. And if you don't like using Megas, again, it sucks to be you. Because you're going to be dealing with them constantly, and there's no real way to counter them. There's really very little to anything you can do to counter some of them. I mean, heck, I remember in Gen 6, whenever reading up about the metagame, they pretty much took over the entire metagame, where you have to learn, you better have an answer to your Mega Pokemon, and the only answer tends to be just having a Mega Evolution of your own. So to me, now we're just room battling. I also feel like people really don't only care for it for mostly the design. For the designs. And I feel like, say, if it didn't get removed, back in Gen 7, and they kept doing more Megas, people would get sick of it. I firmly believe that people would actually get sick of it after a while. I would not be surprised if people genuinely got sick and started saying, hey, can they do something else instead? And why do they keep bringing back, why do they keep making Mega Evolutions? And I could honestly see that happening, where people would really just be like, why do they keep making Mega Evolutions? They should stop making Mega Evolutions. And it's like, it's so bad. Why do they keep doing it? I feel like a lot of people say a lot of stuff without really questioning or really thinking about what they're saying when it comes to Pokemon, and just bringing stuff back. Because I feel like that would just create the problem of, Pokemon's just relying on old things that worked in the past, and it's just to make people happy. Yeah, because that, to me, I feel like would fall under more nostalgia pandering, which people already complain about. It would just basically be that again. And if they did it here, at least in my opinion, In heck, one sentiment I remember this when people were talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield, talking about Pokemon games. I remember one of the sentiments was that Pokemon should try to be more like other RPGs, particularly Persona 5, because Persona 5 was gaining a lot of traction at the time. I love Persona, by the way. I'm talking as someone who absolutely loves the Persona, who actually really likes the Persona series. I love Persona. Oh no. But when I heard people saying, like, oh, Pokemon should be more like Persona 5, I was like, are you sure you're really understanding what you're saying? It being, because I'm pretty sure Persona 5 is good for its own reasons and not for what Pokemon does. I don't think if you tried to put Pokemon in Persona 5, it would really work that well. Well, with Persona 5's mechanics. As granted, they said it should be more stylistic like Persona 5, which I guess I could kind of agree with. But still, the amount of times I heard people say this sentiment, or like Final Fantasy, or like it should be more like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy. Fantasy is more of a why, and less an idea of what that would actually look like, and more it should just be more like those games. And that bothers me when just saying something without really giving an explanation, just people just being expected to understand it and what they're talking about. And like another thing too, I remember not just that too. I remember as well where people were talking about, oh yeah, where people who actually make games, names were saying who have made games or know about 3D talk about Pokemon on games, and it's 3D animation saying whether it's truly good or not. I remember that. And it's a thing with objectivity too that really bothers me. Because that was just going around all the time when I was talking about Pokemon on its graphics. Well, Pokemon and then Pokemon Sword and Shield and its graphics. But that's a story to be saved for another time. I could probably I probably might even mention that in Sword and Shield. Because that really got me annoyed. But the Persona comment, and the other RPGs comment really got under my skin. Because I play other RPGs for what they do. Pokemon is not something you could just replicate. It just grew at the same success. As many have tried, but many have failed. Because Pokemon is just that unique and that big of a juggernaut that you can't just copy it and expect it to go over well. No, you can't. And if you take that away, then it's not Pokemon anymore. Or it's a very delicate thing and a very hard thing to just change and act like everything's fine. Right, but I think that really could just be its own discussion, to be honest. But just my point is, you can't really just change Pokemon. I feel like just the simple things that people said, just let it be like it should be like X RPG series. It really doesn't help really doesn't help at all. Because there are reasons why it works in those series and why it might not work for Pokemon. I feel like no one really considers that. It just wants just pretty much Persona 5 Pokemon Edition. This really bothers me. It's, again, just one reason I really don't talk about games that often. But another story I wanted to get to, so just to get a break from all the Pokemon stuff I've been talking about. Jeez, I might just keep going for the night again. Yeah, because I feel like the Pokemon stuff is just never gonna stop. It's something happening, so it was just to set a story for you. It was 2020, early 2020, or 2019. Actually, this might be better. I'd gotten into a group. There was an anime group, anime club at my school, but really was a part of the gaming club as well. Or almost everyone there was playing Smash Bros. And was really excited for Smash Bros. Ultimate. To the point where we were thinking of holding tournaments. And to be held 2 of them. 2 of them. The first one I had where I practiced and I unfortunately lost my first time. Then I got really into playing Smash Bros. Because there were so many people I wanted to play against, so many people I wanted to beat one day. And I had made a lot of friends because of that experience too. Dude, that I still have to this day and talk to. Dude, it was great. And then 2020 comes around. There's another tournament, and this time I actually win the tournament. And I was watching Smash Bros. Advice on how to get better at the game. And I'd practice I'd spend some days just to practice. I'd watched people who play Smash Bros. And talk about Smash Bros. It was all the time. It felt great. And then afterwards, around that same time, there was a ton of allegations, particularly in the competitive fighting game community. Because it wasn't just Smash Bros, it was just the fighting game community in general during that time while everyone was pretty much indoors. Some of them involved people I really respected. I don't want to say anyone's names because if anyone knows what happened, they know, and I feel like other people will definitely be able to tell the situation better than I could if anyone wants to look it up. But I'd recommend it if you're someone who wants to get into competitive Smash Bros. or is just genuinely interested to learn about this kind of stuff. Because it is an interesting read. Whenever I look back on it, it's a very interesting read. I'm glad it's a lot more information now. Now we're going to where now I think you can get a good idea of what happened. I mean, what led everyone to this point. What led to everything at this point. But anyways, that it was a huge shock to me when I heard about the allegations. People I respect, I had a lot of respect for. I mean, I never knew them personally, but I respected saying they did some of the stuff that was pretty much said, and it felt terrible. No, it's almost like that old saying of never meet your heroes. It was to never meet your heroes, which I'll be honest, I hate that saying. A part of me really hates that saying. Because it almost pretty much never it almost feels like never meet people you respect. You should never meet them ever to me. And that's what it almost sounds like. Never meet those people ever. You should never actually meet other people because they're most likely gonna be awful. It probably means more something like not everyone's like what they seem, but still it kind of sounds like that to me whenever anyone's used it. At least to me, that's always kind of used like that. But yeah, suffice to say, it was a shock when I heard it happen. But I still wanted to keep playing Smash Bros. But I couldn't really because some of the group members I played left. And after we couldn't really meet like we always did. So I didn't really have anyone to play. I really didn't have anyone to play with, and I was mostly just training pretty much. But I was practicing against no one, and oh jeez, wow! I keep feeling there's just a burp that's gonna come up, but it never does. It gets kind of annoying. I really gotta learn not to eat or drink something before I do these. Because it does not help. Not at all. But I sometimes play with a group of friends that I still have. Those same group of friends that I was in the club with. And I usually get my butt kicked every single time. And whenever we play. and I just get my butt kicked, completely walloped. Well, I have a friend of mine who I honestly would say is so much better at the game than I honestly think I ever will be. They're just that good. They even got every single character into Elite Smash, including all the DLC. I don't even think I could be on their level. And by the way, the funny thing about that person, they were the person I fought in the finals. Well, in the tournament that I won. They were the person I fought in the finals. I know, so that's just kind of ironic when I think about it. And they're one of my best friends, too. So it's double irony. But yeah, I already had a lot of things not going for me with Smash Bros. But I still wanted to at least try an official tournament. And I practiced the hardest I ever practiced, as hard as I could. But heck, I even missed out on a Christmas party my friends had. Just to go to this tournament. Because I was thinking, there'll be more parties and I can come back later. And plus, this has been something I've wanted to do for almost 2 years now. Almost a year now. And I remember my first tournament run. And by the way, my family was watching this too. Dude, my family and my cousins were there too. Dude, in person, by the way, to see it. I fight this guy who mains Sonic, and I personally main Bowser. Bowser still do. And yeah. I got completely washed. I was able to win one match, but he basically kind of destroyed me after that one match. And he played insanely well. Mostly because with how he played with his Sonic, he was very much able to string his combos. Also that way, I pretty much couldn't do anything. And what happened was after that first match, and I lost that first match, and better yet, I got into the loser. I was in the loser bracket, and I got the chance to fight him again, and I didn't get a single win on him. I felt completely defeated and devastated. Because it's like my family's watching this too, and they're still trying to support me, even though I'm incredibly upset. And trying not to get really upset, not trying to get mad at them, because I know they're being really supportive. But it almost feels a little disrespectful in some ways too. By saying almost joking about him cheating, in which I know they probably meant it as something nice, he didn't actually cheat. But he just felt a little disrespectful, and it took a huge blow to my confidence. It's just in general, not even just in Smash, just my confidence in general. And after that tournament loss, honestly, after I'd say almost about a month where I kept playing with my friends and I just kept losing, I kind of just stopped. I pretty much just gave up on it. I kind of just left competitive. I just kind of had no interest in playing competitive anymore. Or now, whenever anyone talks about competitive, I know about some things, but to be honest, I couldn't care less what happens. It happens, and I usually don't even associate myself with Smash that much anymore. I mostly just play for fun now. And I realized it was mostly because I had a community. I was with a bunch of people that I formed a close bond with. That was what I really liked about it. That's what made it special to me. And now that pretty much was gone, there was kind of no reason for me to play it anymore. More people I respected left. I pretty much kept getting my butt whooped every single time, and my first tournament loss pretty much ended in complete failure. Where I honestly started to think I probably really am not as good at games as I really thought was. Because I used to get my family used to tell me, "Oh, you're really amazing at games," like to the point where they make a joke where where I'm just cheating and that's why I win so often. It's funny even if it does get annoying at times. Whenever I hear it. But for me, just seeing that all happen and go down, it just felt like I guess I'm really not as good at games as I thought I would. Well, then I guess really Smash isn't really for me. I just left. Because I pretty much had no reason to, and heck, now especially I have very little reason to, considering more stuff has come out, especially the whole Nintendo, almost pretty much Nintendo versus the Smash community, almost. Those that happened pretty much back last year. And 2020, and at the end of the year too. Just so much more controversy just in Smash Bros. It was, a game I used to really have fun and be passionate about. Wanting to get better almost every single day. Almost never saying no to a fight. Now just something I could care less about. Now, honestly, would rather almost have nothing to do with. So, to be honest, it really makes looking back on it super disheartening. Super disheartening. Okay, I'm just gonna reset. I'm a little salty about that right now. That just happened. I'm just gonna reset. Yeah, I freaking hate the poison mushrooms in this game. Suffice to say, I hate the poison mushrooms. The fact that you have to avoid them, but not your opponents. They don't have to deal with them, but you do. Ugh. The fact that it's like I just pretty much have my entire reason for wanting to play Smash completely ripped from me almost. It really makes it hard to actually look back on it and see that I was so into playing Smash Bros. And now I just couldn't care less about it. It's something I'm really disinterested in. I mean, heck, sometimes I don't even like talking about it just because it just makes me think of those times. And sometimes I think, like, maybe, just maybe I might get back into it. One day, like, I'll get that competitive edge again. To really try again. But to be honest, I really don't think that's actually ever gonna happen. And at least anytime soon. And I know it's kind of a sad story. But that's just I guess just sometimes how the cookie crumbles at times. Maybe I'll have a happier story when I keep doing this. Who knows, but that's just what happened. That's kind of what happened. Never know. At least I'm glad to at least have it said somewhere in a video. So if anyone wants to ask me about this, like anyone ever asked me about Smash Bros, I can pretty much just lead them to this video. That's something I'm really happy about. Alright, I'll be signing off for now. And going to record part 3. So for this part, this is Child Guardian signing off. Until next time.